On the road to somewhere you have never been, a roadmap is essential. It guides you on your journey. It indicates landmarks and other important waypoints on your path. Without that map, your direction is unclear, your destination unsure. A few years ago, we in the Civilian Human Resources Group at National Defense began planning a journey. We have been moving since then, and now our goal is to travel from where we are today to an improved and streamlined future, where our services will be delivered better and faster than they are today, without impediments, without borders, with satisfied clients. A team of 60 members of our HR community from across Canada gathered at Saint-Sauveur-des-Monts in Quebec's Laurentian Mountains. Armed with the ideas from 2 earlier conferences and an entire year's worth of follow-on work, they accepted the leadership role to continue that planning, to create our map, our own route to our future.
What made it really outstanding for you? What created that sort of good feeling and that energy that, was so revitalizing to you in your work?
In a pre-conference assignment, each participant was encouraged to bring up to 5 of those stories to the summit. Almost 300 success stories were contributed, and they made a powerful contribution to the group's work.
They came here with stories to share and their energy. So what they've been doing this morning is they were paired with someone to actually share these stories that they came with.
A little bit about what everybody does and how what I do impacts on classification and staffing.
We think that the telling of a story captures the richness of life in the organization in ways that simply asking people either to rate something or to analyze it doesn't. If I ask you what are the 3 things that make for a great team, I'm sure you can give me 3 bullet points. But if I ask you to tell me a story about a time when you were part of a team that was operating at peak performance, the level of depth and richness is much, much greater.
Sense of commitment, do you have that?
As you know, this is the 1st year anniversary of our meeting that we had last year. Last year we had 300 people that came out of there very energized. This year we have an extra 60 people joining us. So now we have a critical mass of more than half of the HR community, of 360 people who are thinking positively and who are looking at the future with that in mind.
What they've been writing on the flip chart is actually the common themes that that they have heard in the stories that they shared in their small groups. So the common themes, the themes that were energizing them. So they were actually listing all these common themes.
Building on the successes of the past, focused on the challenges of tomorrow. We are the team of today. We are the HR team.
With their own themes emerging, the group took some time to look over the work that emerged from the previous conference and from work carried on in every region during the last year. Things were coming together. With all of their ideas for the future of civilian HR becoming clear in their minds, the participants' next task was to visualize the future of the organization. Every journey has an end, and the group was about to create a vision of our destination. On a large mural, they began to sketch out that destination in wishes, dreams, and powerful and inspiring visual images.
Promote university education for HR support staff. We had to think of what we would like our human resources community to look like in 2003. And now we've been tasked with drawing a picture that's going to represent that.
What happens is, after 29 years in the military, you finally get a chance to color in between the lines. This is a screen that represents our computers and information technology and where we're going in the future. And we have all of our team together here, hand in hand.
It is a lot of fun, and it's very interesting to see all the creativity and innovation around this. So yeah, we are having fun.
Or is this too much? I think it's interesting that the rainbow looks somewhat like a roadway, like more than the yellow brick road. And because there wasn't enough time, it wasn't quite finished. And as you look at it, this is a journey.
The one thing I really notice on this is it's not one easy thing to go where we want to go to meet our wishes. If you take a look at it, there's lots of steps that need to be taken to get there. But just voicing what you said, everything's positive, and I don't see anything in there that says that this is impossible. It just takes a little bit of work that we have to do, because in the short time we put this together into a picture. So if we can put this effort into addressing those things, we should be able to meet, the pot of gold or the end of the rainbow of where we want to go.
Keep that picture in mind, and we'll try to find a place where you can have it in front of you. Yes, good work.
In their final activity for the day, each group put the destination into words in a new possibility statement based on the ideas in the mural.
Just lost my voice for a second. A vibrant, cohesive, and diverse community continuously evolving and guiding the journey to meet the needs of our clients while ensuring the well-being of the HR community.
I'm particularly excited about the way this group that has come in really just a few hours ago has started to engage themselves in the process of discovering what it is for them that gives them life. So I think the kind of energy that we're seeing around us is really the kind of energy that comes when we ask people the simple question of, tell me a story about a time when things were working at their very, very best.
The second day of the summit found our team of leaders with their goal largely defined. Today they would build our map, the winding path through every region we represent toward our goal of a renewed HR community in 2003.
Bon matin tout le monde. Good morning everyone. J'espère que vous allez bien ce matin, que vous avez bien dormi, and that you had a good breakfast.
Because any change will affect everyone in HR, the summit reached out to our entire community from coast to coast via the internet. Email summaries and photos of the key activities were produced and sent daily to more than 600 colleagues. And opinions, suggestions, and comments were actively encouraged.
Before we start, I'd like to share with you some of the emails we received yesterday. Yesterday morning, we have sent the question, the I believe the world is calling the HR community to become. And here are some answers that we received. The question we asked is, do you have anything to add to that, to your list?
The participants would form new groups today, each one dedicated to finding how the new possibility statements fit within the categories of Treasury Board's Framework for Good Human Resources Management in the Public Service. Whether examining leadership, the work environment, or the other areas laid out in the framework, each new team would prepare 6 cones. Each cone representing a planned activity or process or step that will move our community closer to the dream represented by the mural. The new groups were assembled, and they began to recommend the steps that they thought would be needed to move the process forward. Some were national in scope, but many were regional, representing the fact that our participants were drawn from every region and sector of our HR community.
Position or whatever, and then you went into culture a bit.
We're going to ask them to put their ideas onto the cones and actually place the cones on the roadmap in roughly the sequence that they think things should happen. So what we'll wind up with is a metaphorical pathway towards the future with key stops, key rest points, places where people really have to take action in order to move towards the next step. But it will be a pathway, a roadmap towards the future, which when implemented by all of them, will move them from the present towards the dream, the mural.
So what we will do is create a forum for us to go to the executive committee, make the presentation, and get their approval. and obviously get their buy-in at the same time. And again, we will seek financing. It's all very nice to say this is the plan, but unless we say it comes with expenses and a way to cover those expenses, then it doesn't get done. So early in the process, that's the commitment cone that I'm putting down.
How are we going to do this? We're going to present the idea to the Extended Management Committee. Ask to nominate some volunteers. If none come forward, we're going to delegate because we feel this needs to take place.
In the order that the events they represent should take place, the groups placed their cones along the roadmap. A review session followed, and some cones were moved to present a more practical sequence of events. Ultimately, our map took shape, a pathway to our community's future in logical steps with clear landmarks along the way.
This is going to be a primary enabler for all of us to continue on to know our roles.
The support of senior management is critical to the success of the initiatives that were identified in this process. To show that support is very real, Madame Monique Boudria, ADM HR Civ, arrived to sit in on the sessions and address the participants.
I'm very impressed with your creativity. Before I came here today, I had a chance to pick up a package before coming, and I had already started reading the emails that you had sent to my office. And also
Since the beginning, Madame Boudria has nurtured and encouraged everyone working on this vibrant process.
The first thing I felt was the energy within the group, how positive they were, the joy that I've also saw, and at another level, what I was impressed with is the creativity they use in terms of the way they draw, the way they have expressed themselves on the roadmap. I was quite pleased to see that they could celebrate the past and recognize what they have done and their achievements, but also to have still some energy to look into the future to year 2003 and being clear in what are the next steps to achieve that as a group. But I also felt that they were ready to contribute personally to the next step and the next achievements of the group.
The final step in the process was to gather in regional groups to develop concrete plans for moving the process ahead once the participants returned to their offices.
We're going to do this thing, we're going to involve them just like we were involved here.
Well, I think it's a general map of the territory, and what they have to do now is to take a flashlight and highlight the local regional aspect of it. They really have to bring out the nuances that are going to make sense in their area of the country, in their city, in their service centers, and they have to translate this national map into a regional map.
And to keep the process moving, a national leadership team was established immediately to ensure that the work started at the summit continues in the weeks and months ahead. This team, along with the 60 leaders who participated in the summit, will ensure that momentum towards our destination is maintained.
So it was really interesting that after 2.5 days of working together and playing together, we've come up with something. We've got momentum here that should carry on.
And I truly believe that the different steps that we've proposed here will bring us towards this dream. It will happen, I'm convinced.
I'm going to start meeting with my clients, and I mean, this is going to be on the table. I think it's too important.
So our civilian human resources community has its map. A plan that by the end of 2003 will deliver civilian HR in every region of the country to a new and exciting level of service to our clients. And along the way, we will be revitalizing that community, recognizing the value of our people, making it a rewarding place to work for us and for the new people joining our great team of HR professionals. It all began with the power of the positive question, and we have one more. How will you participate in this adventure with us?
I appreciated the level of commitment that I saw demonstrated by everybody here.
What I appreciated the most is sharing your ideas and being able to go back and perhaps implement some of those. So thank you very much for that.
I appreciated the unity of our approach taken to this summit.
I appreciated over the last 3 days, the steady rise in enthusiasm and commitment.
I appreciated the teamwork.
I appreciated everyone's openness and willingness to cooperate and participate.
Everything is possible. Just do it.